The Ironbacks have come to the American side of the Falls 4 times this season and have lost every single one of those games. Tonight, the battle for the Falls continues as the Americans are looking to sweep the home portion of this season series. It's the Americans, it's the Ironbacks, it's PGCBL baseball right here on the Americans Baseball Network.
That the ace of the Giant pitching staff that season was Niagara Falls native Sal Magley. A league-low 2.71 earned run.
They chose Niagara Falls because of the stadium, because of the history, because they believe in Niagara Falls.
Tickets 716-215-6161.
And where do you play?
We play right at Sal Magley, gorgeous stadium.
Set the 1-0 to Boyle. Is hammered to right field.
Go, baby, go, baby. Go,
Come
baby,
here,
go,
fence.
Baby.
That ball is way out of here.
Welcome back to Sal Magley Stadium for this edition of PGCBL Baseball, Americans and Ironbacks, right here on the Americans Baseball Network. I'm Andrew Roberts. I'll be your play-by-play broadcaster the entire season, and I'm back here today with our color commentator, Avery Vogt. Avery, how are you doing today?
You know, Andrew, it's finally time for me to come back. You know, I've been doing, the PA, the scoreboard, the DJ. I mean, I've done it all, but now it's finally time for me to come back. I've been waiting for this all week long.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Avery, you got to be our super utility player at this point. There are some utility players on the Americans roster, but I don't think anybody's played more roles than you this season.
Yeah, I can play all the infield, first base, second base, whatever coach needs me to do, I'm there to do it for him.
Heard you came in for a relief appearance the other night as well.
Yeah, they had me in the bullpen, so, I was up and ready.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And, I mean, ceremonial first pitch, they know you can pitch.
Yeah, so, they know I got the arm, so if they ever need me, I'm up here.
Yeah, definitely. But before we get going on today's game, we'll take a look at the PGCBL standings. Auburn Doubledays hanging on to first place by a thread right now, 12-5-1. The Americans on a 5-game win streak are right on their tail, half a game out of first at 12-6. Muck Dogs at 12-7 are in third. Pioneers currently in the final spot of the playoff picture at 11-7. Pilots and Tarp Skunks knocking on the door, and then the Red Wings and Ironbacks still in the basement. And Avery, I've been talking over the course of the last few games the importance of really taking advantage of all these games against teams like the Ironbacks and Red Wings that are out of the playoff picture. And I mean, the Americans have taken full advantage of it over the last 5 games. They've played either Niagara or Geneva 4 of those 5 times, and now a 5th time out of 6 today.
Yeah, I mean, these Americans are going out and they're getting these wins. It's not going to be always easy. It's baseball. Things happen. But the Americans going out proving that they can win. And, they've been putting up runs, too. It hasn't been, close games like 6-3, 5-4, things like that. Yesterday they played Geneva, beat them 11-3. So clearly they could put up runs, and they're going to keep it going today.
Yeah, not quite the domination that we saw back on June 11th when the Americans mercied the Red Wings 20-3. But nonetheless, a big win yesterday and hoping to keep it going tonight. The other thing worth noting, the Americans play these Ironbacks more than any other team in the West Division. They play them 12 times over the course of the season. This is already the 7th matchup. And in the first 6, they won every single one of those games. So if the Americans can really take full advantage of their heavy schedule against the Ironbacks, that's going to give them an edge in the playoff picture over teams that are beating up on each other all season long.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you have a lot of games against one team, their ins and outs. What guy does well at what spot, how they're going to pitch. Everything about their teams. You're going to adapt, you're going to change up some things, and just as the Americans done, they just keep winning against the Ironbacks. So let's see if they keep it going today.
We'll introduce the Ironbacks starting pitcher a little later, but to give the fans on the broadcast an idea, this is a guy coming out to pitch against the Americans for the 3rd time all season, Ethan Wolf. We'll give him a full introduction later, as I mentioned, but he has seen plenty of these Americans. He's going to be on the mound again tonight. We'll give you a look at the Ironbacks lineup ahead of this top of the first. Devin Medore going to be leading off and playing shortstop. Mitch McKinney in center field batting second. Just his second game as an Ironback. The first was on Tuesday here on the American side of the border. Marcus Butts at second base today. He'll bat third. Andrew Bishop, the cleanup hitter per usual, and playing first. Carter Kipp, brand new Ironback, is the extra hitter. Alex Keene back in right field batting sixth. Brock Granger doing the catching today, batting seventh. Nolan Phelan in left field. Jack Sarkuri and Caden Wilson to round out the lineup. That's back-to-back Jamestown Community College players. And as I mentioned, Ethan Wolf on the bump. So Avery, the Ironbacks, notably sitting their two top players in batting average. Carter Shin on the bench today. Connor Gatens on the bench today. Connor Gatens hit a home run against these Americans back on Tuesday. So it's clear to me that these Ironbacks are really prioritizing the development of their players, especially given how their season is going.
Yeah, it just seems like they're trying to get everyone out there, get some playing time, and it's not typically usual for teams to bench their star players, but sometimes you just got to give them day offs, give other guys some shots, and see what they got.
Yeah, they're also a little short-handed on this road trip. Just 5 hitters off the bench available today, and then the bullpen, just 4 guys available. Eli Thompson, Jaden Corpin, as well as Aiden Bray and Jack Kemp. Those are your 4 Ironbacks relievers that have the chance to come into the game tonight. Americans, on the other hand, have more players at the game. There was a team photo back at 4:30 that all of us had the chance to be a part of as well. But the expected pitchers for today, after Nolan Jackson, the starting pitcher, are Brady Toney, Carmen Panaro, and Joe Chaya. So
yeah, I mean, especially with the Ironbacks too. You noted that they only have 4 relief pitchers, but I mean, the other day when they played up here on Tuesday, we had players like Mitch McKinney and Alex Keene pitching, which was kind of interesting. They were DHing and extra hitters, and they still came out on the mound, and they did both sides of the ball. Little Shohei Ohtani on the mound.
Yeah, and you see guys continuing to move around for these Ironbacks. I mean, they'll play these catchers on their roster anywhere. They had Connor Gatens at third on Tuesday. Marcus Butts now at second base today. Caden Wilson shifting over from shortstop to third. They actually tried having Carter Shin do the same the other day. That was a interesting decision on their part. But, I mean, yeah, like these players are playing at so many different positions. They're getting experience all over the diamond. Whereas the Americans, I feel like, have settled into their roles. And we'll give you a look at their starting lineup. Grant Moore going to be leading off, playing center field per usual. Tommy Mathay filling in for Evan Core in right. Ethan Madison, the DH, bats third. Gavin Boyle back in the lineup. Cleanup hitter playing left. Dalton Harper will do the catching, bat fifth. Jack Satinoff back in, playing second base and batting sixth. Brady Bowles at third base, batting seventh. Graydon Miller, the first baseman per usual. Chris Gazaldo at short, batting ninth. And Liam Schott playing his second game of the season. He's the extra hitter. So the Americans going with a mix of established vets in this lineup, as well as a little bit of experimentation with Liam Schott playing his second game, and you also have Jack Satinoff coming back after not playing since Saturday. So like to see that mix of development and then your most talented players in the lineup.
Yeah, it gives you a little bit of a different lineup, Like I said before, when you play so many teams so many times, especially with the Ironbacks, play them 12 times, you got to change it up a little bit. If you keep going out with the same roster, they might figure us out. But with these new guys, it might be a little different.
Yeah. And, I mean, the Ironbacks are picking up on that. They had Mitch McKinney debut against the Americans on Tuesday, and now Carter Kipp today. But the Americans will have Liam Schott playing for the first time against these Ironbacks. His first game was against Jamestown, so that'll be a new experience for him as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's you're going to be getting new guys too, but one thing that still stands out to me is Grant Moore leading off with a .474 batting average. Clearly no one, not even the Ironbacks, have figured him out. I mean, almost batting 500 on the season is just a way to show that you can play ball.
Not only far and away has established himself as the best hitter on the Americans, but also you could argue in the entire PGCBL he's looked to be the best hitter. He leads the West Division in batting average, on base percentage, and stolen bases. Actually leads the league as large in batting average and on base percentage as well. But
yeah, I mean, with Grant
guys over in the East have been getting a lot of steals, so just barely beating him out there.
Yeah, but I mean, you got Grant Moore. Like we said, he's got that high batting average, but the stolen bases also sticks out as well. You got a guy that can hit and steal. It's an all-around player. He's a great guy to have lead off for these Americans.
Yeah, if you have 21 stolen bases with not even half the season completed, that's a chance for 50 on the year. He had 24 at his school, Mount Vernon Nazarene University, but he told me a few weeks back it was his coach at that school that told him to get more aggressive on the base paths in the second half. It led to those 24 steals, and now he's looking to come back in the spring and break his school's stolen base records. So definitely getting off to a good trajectory to do so with how he's played this summer.
Yeah, I mean, especially too with the 21 stolen bases, he's had very minimal. I've only seen one myself, but there might have been a couple more that he's actually gotten out, caught stealing. But I mean, he's always pushing the stolen base. He's a great guy to get on base, especially first in the lineup. You're gonna have someone who's a threat on the bases.
Yeah, and this is a guy. He's actually gotten out of a rundown before even like. There was a couple games back. He was caught between second and third, runs around the defender and gets in at third base. Tried to do the same towards home plate and got tagged out.
Yeah.
I know you remember that one.
Yeah. I remember he was a little bit out of the baseline, but he made the effort to get to home. But sometimes you just get caught. But I mean, for Grant Moore, it's very rare to see him get caught.
I mean, that would be an automatic out for most hitters. So for Grant Moore to even compete in that situation, he's a speedy player. I mean, Alan Ramos raced him. He's just as fast, but just hasn't had the chance to steal in the same capacity as Grant Moore because he hasn't been on base as much.
Yeah. I mean, with Grant Moore, you're getting on base. You're going to have the pitcher be cautious every time he's on base. You're going to have to make sure he's not stealing, make sure he's not getting a big lead. But even then, still, he's guaranteed a back or two a game.
Yeah, for sure. And the Ironbacks are coming out to the field right now. They'll be followed up by the Niagara Falls Americans. And we'll introduce you fully to the starting pitcher, Nolan Jackson, once the Americans take the field.
Make some noise as we introduce the starting lineup for your Niagara Falls Americans. Leading off for the Americans from Mount Vernon Nazarene University, center fielder number 1, Grant Moore.
25.
Batting second from Panola College is right fielder number 2, Tommy Maffei. The DH for tonight's matchup from Trevecca Nazarene University is number 8, Ethan Madison. Batting cleanup is left fielder from SUNY Niagara, number 16, Gavin Boyle. In the 5 spot and behind the plate from SUNY Niagara is number 18, Dalton Harper. Batting 6th is the second baseman from Trevecca Nazarene University, number 14, Jack Satnoff. Batting 7th and playing the hot corner from Panola College, third baseman number 10, Brady Bowles. At first base and batting 8th from Drury University is number 15, Graydon Miller. In the number 9 spot is the shortstop from Panola College, number 42, Chris Gizaldo. And batting 10th from Corning Community College is number 27, Liam Schott. On the bump for the Americans.
And here comes your American starting pitcher, Nolan Jackson. Got a 4.91 ERA on the year. 1 strikeout. Has mostly come out of the bullpen, but we'll get the chance and more of a bullpen game here for the Americans to open for the first time this season. Committed to Seattle University in the fall. Will be in his first year there after finishing high school up in Ontario. So Apollo and Yankee Doodle Dan taking the field now. We will pause for the national anthems. We'll be right back.
Now, fans, please give it up for your in-stands host, a true patriot wrapped head to toe in freedom. He's the red, white, and blue glue holding together the spirit. Please welcome Yankee Doodle Dan. And as you can see from Apollo and Dan, it is $2 beer night, so be sure and visit Deb's Beer Garden for some beer.
Been there, Apollo.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the colors this evening is Boy Scout Troop number 539. Please help us give a warm welcome as they come onto the field. Once again, Boy Scout Troop 539.
Yes, Nolan Jackson does have one strikeout. He does only pitch 3.2 innings, so he's had limited opportunity. Big color guard guy?
Yeah, the U.S. flag is always supposed to be on its own line.
Should go cheer out the.
Yeah. Let him hear it.
And now, fans, we ask that you rise as able and remove your hats for the singing of our national anthems. Tonight's rendition of "O Canada" will be sung by the Niagara Falls Americans' own box office manager, Teddy Yo. Take it, Teddy.
Yeah, Teddy.
Let's hear it for Teddy. Nice job, Teddy. Thank you very much. And now, folks, please remain standing for tonight's version of the Star Spangled Banner. Tonight's national anthem will be sung appropriately by a true patriot, Yankee Doodle Dan. Take it away, Dan. Thank you, Yankee Doodle Dan.
I counted exactly 50 people in the stands.
Welcome back to Sal Magley Stadium. It's the Americans, it's the Ironbacks. We'll have action any moment. Andrew Roberts back here with Avery Vogt and Nolan Jackson going to be on the mound after our ceremonial first pitch.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the mound for tonight's ceremonial first pitch. For our first pitch, please welcome, he's actually here, the one, the only, a 16-time world champion and a Hollywood action star. Please give it up for John Cena. A true American icon, a hero to millions, and the only guy strong enough to lift a tank and toss a baseball like it's nothing. There he is. You can get your pictures now while he's on the mound. It's all yours. Nice pitch, John. Thank you very much.
So after that amazing first pitch by John Cena, Nolan Jackson gonna take the mound for the Americans. Jackson has made a few appearances out of the bullpen, but this will be his biggest moment yet. And a bit of a funny story here. This has been a USA-Canada battle for the Falls all season long, but Jackson himself is a Canadian, so interesting to see him starting against a lot of guys that he grew up not too far from.
Yeah, it kind of puts a twist on this rivalry, but having a Canadian pitch for the United States team. But, as long as he goes out and deals there today, I won't have a problem with it.
Representing America today, despite his Canadian origins. Devin Medor, Mitch McKinney, and Marcus Butts will kick things off for the Ironbacks, though.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's game time at the barbershop.
Devin Medor will be first up, the 186 hitter with a 495 OPS. 2 RBIs on the year, and perhaps most interestingly from SUNY Niagara. So a lot of his teammates on these Americans, always given his Americans teammates / old friends a hard time before games, but here he is to face Jackson, one of, honestly, a minority of Americans pitchers that isn't from that school. And bunt shown on ball 1, but Medor going to go up in the count as Jackson misses the bat on that pitch.
Yeah, he showed bunt kind of early there, but now he's going out there with a swing.
Yeah, big cut and miss to make it 1-1. Medor had a 3-hit game back a week ago against the Muck Dogs, has cooled off big time since then. That'll drop in on the low part of the zone for strike 2.
Got a little bit of an aggressive strike call here from the ump.
Yeah, Nolan Jackson back with the count in his favor. Now a low ball 2. It's a back and forth battle here on the first at bat of the game for Devin Medor. And first at bat for the Ironbacks as a whole. Jackson, the 2-2, is a chopper foul. That dropped the right place. Brady Bowles could have had that to throw for out number 1, but instead going in the hand of Richard Griffin, the Ironbacks coach.
Getting a little praise from Doc there, too, with that play. Bare hand in it.
Definitely. The 2-2 will get in there for strike 3 on the outside corner. Nolan Jackson starting out his game by sending Medor packing. On the called strike 3, he goes down for out number 1.
Yeah, Jackson already getting his first strike out of the game, and he's already got as many as he had this whole season, so it looks like a great start for him today.
Yeah, I mean, not many innings prior to this game. We'll see how long he goes in this one, but ball 1 will bounce in the dirt to Mitch McKinney. His second game as an Ironback, his first was on Tuesday against these Americans when he hit and pitched. That gets in there on the low edge to even up the count. It's 1s across the board. McKinney comes from Jamestown Community College.
I was right. That was a strike.
And that's going to be a line drive right into the glove of Jack Satinoff for out number 2. Jack Satinoff at second base today. Already showing some strong defense. We'll see if he can get it going on offense. Would be just his second hit of the season if he can get a hit today.
Yeah, I mean, it's early in this game, but that was a nice grab there by Satinoff. But, yeah, like you said, maybe he can keep the bats going hot here.
Yeah, good defense usually going to lead to good offense in baseball. But ball 1 up and inside to Marcus Butts. Playing second base for the Ironbacks. Bounces in the dirt.
Yeah, you usually don't see that out of players playing catcher and second base. Usually they play something, like first base. But we'll see Butts here at second base in a little bit here.
Yeah, but like I mentioned, these Ironbacks have been playing their catchers everywhere. It's an inside ball 3. Marcus Butts, the product of University of Mary, will take strike one down the pike. Does not have the green light on the 3-0 pitch. Jackson looking to fill up this count. Instead, it's a line drive into right center field.
Nice. Yes.
Two guys coming in, but Moore will make the grab from center. Does not run into Mathey, thankfully, and that'll be ending the first inning as the Ironbacks go down, top of the first, rather. The Ironbacks go down 1-2-3. We'll send it to the bottom of the inning after the break.
Fans, if you've been to a game, you know that I give away pizza to a lucky fan in the middle of the third inning. But what you might not know is that Sammy's is located right across the street. They've also been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and originated the half tray of pizza. But if you're hungry at the game, you can stop by the concession stand and get a slice of Sammy's for yourself.
Back for the bottom of the first inning. The Americans will kick things off with Grant Moore. He'll be followed up in this bottom of the first by Tommy Mathey and Ethan Madison to face Ironbacks starting pitcher Ethan Wolf. 0-1 with a 9 ERA and 3 strikeouts has been a staple in this Ironbacks rotation. Pretty good day against the Americans on Saturday in Canada, but it's fouled off for strike one on Grant Moore.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, he had a good day up in Canada, but Grant Moore leading off today. Feel like he's going to be hot today, so let's see if he can start off with a nice hit here for the Americans.
Yeah, and the Americans sent down the Ironbacks 1-2-3, and now Grant Moore hit on his backside. It's a hit by pitch to start things off.
I mean, no hit there from Grant, but he gets on base, so they don't ask how, they ask how many.
And I mean, Grant Moore, when he gets on base, always a threat to steal, so maybe a hit by pitch in the scorebook, but if he can take second, might as well have been a double.
Yeah, it's a free double for him, but hey, no complaints from there.
That'll be outside for ball one on Tommy Mathey. He's been towards the top of the order a couple of times recently. Stepped in for an injured Gavin Boyle on Sunday. Now Boyle's back, but Evan Corrigan in the night off as that one goes wild. Way outside, and Grant Moore will take second.
Yeah, you're right, Andrew. Like you said, it's a free double for Grant Moore. Now, like you said, he's on second now, so now I got a runner in scoring position here, no outs.
It's going to be called a stolen base for Grant Moore. Appears he would have gotten there anyways.
Yeah, I mean, that pitch is way in the other batter's box. Looks like got out of the hand there from Wolf.
So that'll be steal number 22 of the season. And yes, worth noting, speaking of Wolves, that Paul Wolf is here tonight and coaching third base. He'll be in there for strike one on Mathey. But yes, Paul Wolf and Will Cordero, the co-managers of these Americans, also coaching third and first respectively in tonight's game, as Paul Wolf is back for the second home game he's appeared at this week.
Yeah, I mean, usually, though, we have a player up at first base, but tonight we got both coaches on the base path, so
yeah,
let's see how that plays.
Wolf been dividing his time between the Americans and the Buffalo Diesel, his other team. Will Cordero has handled things well in the games that Wolf has not been able to attend, but when he's here, just a great dynamic between the two managers. And it's a full count on Tommy Mathey. Playing right field tonight, usually seen more in left, but Gavin Boyle in that spot tonight. Wolf checks on Moore, now delivers. It's a fly ball into left field. And headed over is Nolan Phelan to make the grab for out number one. Ethan Madison up next, the DH tonight.
Now batting the designated hitter number 8, Ethan Madison.
He's had a pretty strong couple of days. Went 3 for 5 in Geneva last night. Got to build on that momentum here. 3 consecutive hits to end the game. And now he has more on second. That'll drop in on the low edge for strike 1.
Yeah, go on with his nice 3-hit day. He's also got a 367 batting average, and so it's a pretty high batting average. So let's see if he keeps it going here and maybe raise it a little bit.
Tack on a 924 OPS. He's been one of the most
There
consistent
it
hitters
is.
on the team, and it's up the middle
Send
for a
him
base
home.
hit.
Send him home.
Grant Moore coming around, trying to score. He
There
won't
we
get there in
go.
time. The Americans cashing in for the first run of the game. Ethan Madison with an RBI knock, his 11th RBI of the year. Grant Moore comes from second base.
Number 16, Gavin Boyle.
And the Americans lead 1-0. Gavin Boyle up next. And the lead at first for Madison. First pitch will be the breaking ball. Backdoor slider for strike 1. Gavin Boyle spent 2 years at SUNY Niagara, now headed to Southern Indiana next year. And he's been best right here at the barbershop, Avery.
Yeah, I mean, puts on a little show for the coaches, really prove what he's got, and like you said, he's not transferring to a D1 school, so clearly he's proven himself.
Yeah, 3rd year playing summer ball here at Sal Magley. Played for the Power in 2023 and the Americans last season. That's a foul tip, it appears. No, they'll call it strike 3. Did not get a piece of it. Gavin Boyle sent packing for out number 2. So Dalton Harper will be up next.
Now batting the catcher, number
Batting
18,
for the first time tonight. 231 batting average, but a 756 OPS. Last night, hit twice and walked once. So got on base despite no hits. That's a high chopper. Heads towards third. Wilson sending it across the field in time for out number 3. So the Americans will knock in a run, but only 5 batters see action here in the bottom of the inning. We'll be right back for the second.
No, I'm kind of thirsty.
Me too. We could really use something.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yankee Doodle Dan.
That's better.
Back for the second inning, and the second inning here on the Americans Baseball Network is brought to you by Bully Hill Vineyards, a great place to grab lunch and taste over 40 different wines. Go to bullyhillvineyards.com for more. Andrew Roberts back here with Avery Vogt. The Americans took a 1-0 lead on an RBI single by Ethan Madison, but Dalton Harper grounding out to end that inning for Niagara Falls. So it'll be Andrew Bishop to kick things off for the Ironbacks in the top of the second, followed by Carter Kipp making his debut, and then Alex Keene. So here's Bishop. And I mean, cleanup hitter for the Ironbacks, but 631 OPS and no homers yet. So Ground ball. That'll be sent to Gazaldo. It's bobbled. And it'll be an error on Gazaldo. Bishop will reach on the E6.
Yeah, it looked like Gazaldo was going to make a routine play there. Just seemed like the ball kind of bounced in his hand. Unfortunate, but let's see what the Americans do here in this situation.
Yes, I mean, Bishop hasn't shown much power in the cleanup spot yet, but right there will catch a break on the error. Next up is Carter Kipp for the first time as an Ironback. Takes ball 1 outside. And Carter Kipp just signed with this team, is committed to go to Mount St. Mary's next year. Fresh out of high school. It's 2-0. Carter Kipp, funny enough, will be teammates next year with a couple of current Americans, including Jake Rocher, who started against the Ironbacks on Saturday. That's a dribbler down the first base line. And Miller going to make the tag for out number 1. Into second base safely is Andrew Bishop. It's the unassisted ground out for Miller. Alex Keene up next. And Keene, the only current Division I player in this Ironbacks lineup. Kipp obviously going to start Division I next year, but a big threat in the middle of this Ironbacks order, Avery.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of guys here playing different schools, but if you got a Division I player, you know, he's going to be batting very well, obviously, if he's got that talent to play D1, so we'll see what he does here.
And it's a big cut and miss for strike 1. So 1 strike on the count early for Alex Keene, the Moorhead State product. Batting .286 on the year and sends one right back to Nolan Jackson. He's down on the ground but gets back up. It will be Alex Keene safely into first base with the base hit. Runners on the corners. First hit of the day for the Ironbacks.
Yeah, I mean, for a second it looked like it hurt Nolan Jackson. I mean, he got up, but yeah, he took a stinger right off the back there.
Yeah,
got the
we'll
trainer
hope he's
out
all
there.
right.
It's not something you want to see every day,
Americans training staff coming out as well as Paul Wolf.
Jackson seems like a tough guy. He'll be all right, but you never know. You want to take these precautions. You don't want to.
Yeah.
You don't want something to start and keep a player out, but we'll see what they do.
So will likely be up to him whether he keeps pitching here, but he's going to step back on the mound as everybody heads back to the Americans' dugout. And umpire headed back behind home plate. Paul Wolf appears he will be handling the mound meetings for the most part today.
Now batting the catcher, number 20, Brock Granger.
Brock Granger stepping in with runners on the corners and just 1 down. The hard hit liner right off the back of Nolan Jackson was the first Ironbacks hit of the day. It was Alex Keene with that knock. And now Granger, the Panola product, will fly one into foul territory.
Nice.
Ends up being more of a pop-up, and making the catch that time is Brady Bowles.
Any run scored will be unearned.
So now any runs that come in with 2 down will be unearned, as it would have been 3 out after the Gazaldo error. Nolan Phelan, the last hope to drive in the lead runner, Andrew Bishop.
Nice.
Takes strike 1 down the pike from Jackson.
Yeah, it seems like that line drive off the bag hasn't affected Jackson. He's still finding that strike zone.
Definitely. I mean, he was not too rattled by that, and
Nice.
finds another strike, similar spot. Those pitches have dropped on the low edge, but right down the middle. 0-2. Jackson 1 strike away from another clean inning.
Ooh.
Instead, it's ball 1 on the outside low corner.
Yeah, it looked like Phantom was going to swing there, held up, and he's still on this at bat.
I mean, good for Dalton Harper to move over and catch that one. If that gets away from him, run likely comes in to score.
Yeah, it was a good stop there by Harper, and let's see if they get out of this inning with no runs.
The 1-2 by Jackson. He delivers. It's a fly ball near the foul line. Drops foul. Matei was chasing it down. But it's just going to be too far into foul territory for him to get to it.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing about Sal Magley is they got some monsters foul territory. He's got a lot of room, to run down, but unfortunately, they don't make the play that time.
Yeah, you had a couple of times yesterday at McDonough Park where there were defenders trying to catch foul balls, ended up running and then stopping to avoid heading into the fence. But it's 2 balls, 2 strikes, and now taking second base on the steal after his base hit is Alex Keene. So Keene with the first stolen base for the Ironbacks today, and it's a swing and miss to end the at-bat for Nolan Phelan and end the top of the second inning. We'll send it to break and be back for Jack Satinoff to kick things off for Niagara Falls.
My fellow American fans, my name is Frankie Morris, your social media manager. You can join us all summer long with many promotional nights and tickets just as low as $10. You can call and get tickets at 716-215-6161 and take a crack at the action.
Hey fans, remember this season, get yourself the latest Americans gear. Hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, baseballs, and much, much more. Stop by the merchandise stand by concessions.
And that merchandise stand open at tonight's home game. $2 beer night here at the barber shop, but also open at every other home game this season. So fans, if you're at home tonight listening to the stream, watching the stream, and are planning on coming to a future game, be sure to get some merch next time you're here. But for now, bottom of the second inning, and Jack Satinoff will kick things off for the Americans. He will be followed up by Brady Bowles and Graydon Miller in the inning. Satinoff has seen limited time for the Americans this season, but has settled into that second base rotation over the last few games. Great defensively. Fouls it off for strike one. Satinoff actually, in his first game, played in right field. I don't know if we'll see that again, but
yeah, it's always
definitely
interesting to
more
see where
natural in
these
the
players are placed, but Satinoff today is playing second.
that'll get in there on the outside edge to make it 0-2 to Satinoff. He's had some strikeout troubles of late.
Yeah, he's only had a double, and that was back in his first game. Let's see if he can get this bat going again and get a hit here.
The pitch is going to be inside and bounce in the dirt. Actually hit Jack Satinoff.
Like I said before, Angela, they don't ask how, they ask how many, and Satinoff getting on base there.
So Jack Satinoff ends up getting hit by that one. Came close to the dirt, but bounces off him instead. And he will take first base. And yes, just one hit, but that'll be his second time on base this season. Hasn't walked yet. Ball one to Brady Bowles, low. I feel like part of it is people haven't been afraid to attack the zone when Satinoff's up to bat. Perhaps moving him up in the order will play to his benefit a little bit. And that's going to be up the middle into center field. It'll drop for a base hit. Brady Bowles makes it first and second. Off to a strong start tonight after a handful of strikeouts in Geneva.
Yeah, I mean, Brady Bowles just go up there, sees a pitch he likes, and Hits it just past the infield, and now we got runner in scoring position and a runner on first, excuse me, and no out. So let's see what Graydon Miller does here.
Yeah, Graydon Miller, pretty much the everyday first baseman at this point for these Americans. He's back there today.
I mean, yeah, you got Graydon Miller. He's a pretty big guy, so he's got that reach. He's got that size you want at first base. So you like to see it.
Also a strong hitter, back for his second year, 267 with a 760 OPS. Takes the 1-0 on the outside edge to even up the count. So count is even. The rising senior at Drew University, Graydon Miller. Looking for a hit to advance the runners. Strike 2 called towards the outside as well.
Had a fan heard him yell outside on that one, so
Siegel making some laps over the field right now. Lots of birds here at the barbershop, including the Americans' mascot, Apollo. But he tends to stay on the ground.
yeah, Apollo usually doesn't go flying around, but last game he wasn't here, unfortunately, with the bird flu, but he's back today. He's better than ever.
Yeah, Apollo resting up and all better today as Graydon Miller has an even count and 2 runners on. It's outside for ball 3, and Satinoff thought about third base, but hurries back to second. Throw gets away, but he'll hold up there. Doesn't want to get caught in a rundown here.
Yeah, it looked like Granger was going to have that ball sneak by him, but he makes a nice stop, keeps the runner in their spots.
Yeah, Satinoff was a smart play right there. Count now full. Payoff pitch from Wolf in just a moment. He checks Satinoff, now delivers, and that is
Nice.
down the third base line for a base hit. Coming around to score is the lead runner, Jack Satinoff. The Americans now lead 2-0 with runners on first and second. It's hit number 3 of the day. Back-to-back singles, and Graydon Miller has RBI number 12 of the year. It's been kind of a running theme today. Guys going further into double-digit RBI totals. Miller, the second. Madison goes from 10 to 11 back in the first inning. Chris Gazaldo up next. He fouls that off for strike 1. So, yeah, those high RBI players continuing to knock in runs tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Graydon Miller had some patience. He got a full count there, and then finally got a pitch he liked, and gets a nice hit, and now we got another run across the board.
Ooh. And that'll go behind the head of Chris Gazaldo for ball 1. Ethan Wolf way off target there.
Yeah, that looked like a curveball that got away from him. Just almost hit Gazaldo there, but that wouldn't have been good.
I mean, that arguably more than hit him. It went behind him.
Yeah.
Bowles and Miller with leads at their respective bases. Bowles is the lead runner. And a swing and miss for strike 2 on Chris. Gazaldo batting .341. No extra base hits on the year, so his OPS down at .754, but certainly a strong contact hitter. Has his Panola teammate Bowles on base, and that is fouled off to keep it at 1-2. Brock Granger, the catcher, also a college teammate of Gazaldo's. They're battling right here.
Yeah, I'm sure at the plate they had some words for each other, but I hope it's all love for each other, especially as teammates.
Definitely. Always see Brock Granger on the field with all these Panola Americans
Ooh,
after the
there you
game.
go.
That's a ground ball. It sneaks into the outfield for the base hit. Coming around to score is Brady Bowles, and
Nice.
Miller takes off for third. It's runners on the corners, and the Americans now lead 3-0. It's back-to-back-to-back singles.
And guess what, Andrew? There's still no outs this inning. Let's see if the Americans can really pile it on here.
RBI number 8 for Gazaldo, and we talked about the frequent singles by him. There's another. Liam Schott, just his second game of action, looking to add to the party here with his first hit of the entire season. Did get on once in his debut.
Oof.
That'll be fouled off down the first base line for strike 1. Liam Schott, even though he hasn't played all that much A great vibes guy in the locker room.
Fourth hit for the American stock.
Always supporting his teammates. It's a swing and miss for strike 2. You've also seen him a little bit coaching first base on occasion.
Yeah, like a player can do it all, especially with coaching on first base. It's a pretty big responsibility.
Shot has the 0-2 count right now, though. Fouls another one off to stay alive. And see him frequently with the other rising freshman on the team, Alan Ramos, good friend of his in the locker room, but he takes strike 3 on the outside corner. Shot goes down, looking his first time up. That breaks up the streak of singles, but who better to get it back going than Grant Moore?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it all year long, Andrew. This guy is the guy you want anytime you got someone on base, and let's see if he gets a single here, maybe a hit, maybe you could extend it. Just could send someone home here and make it 4-0.
And this was a team that coming into the year, not necessarily a lot of sure things in the lineup, but a lot of potential, and it was really going to be a matter of time to see who emerged as those stars. Grant Moore certainly has been the one to emerge for this team. One of a handful, but I'd argue the brightest star thus far. That's up the middle, out at second, and headed towards first. It'll be a double play, so not the finest moment for Moore right there, but he already got on base once. The Americans send it to the third with a 3-0 lead. We'll be right back.
Fans, if you've been to a game, you know that I give away pizza to a lucky fan in the middle of the third inning. But what you might not know is that Sammy's is located right across the street. They've also been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and originated the half tray of pizza. But if you're hungry at the game, you can stop by the concession stand and get a slice of Sammy's for yourself.
Back for the third inning here on the Americans Baseball Network. It's Americans 3, Ironbacks 0, and you know what that means. Every Americans fan here at the ballpark can get a free McCafe Frappe. This third inning, in addition to being sponsored by McDonald's, is brought to you by Greater Niagara Federal Credit Union, Geico of Buffalo, and Sammy's Pizza. So Yankee Doodle Dan, in our newest ad on the broadcast, headed over to Sammy's.
Yeah, they got some great pizza. Fans love the pizza here. It's always a good piece or good slice of pizza to get here down at the ballpark.
Definitely the official pizza provider of the Americans, and Jack Sarkuri has strike 1 on the count here. He'll be followed up by Caden Wilson and Devin Medor. All 3 attend community college in upstate New York, despite their Canadian origins. Welland, Ontario native, Jack Sarkuri.
And he got him.
They're going to say he got him for strike 3. Nolan Jackson with another strikeout. The Americans without number 1 in the inning. Nolan Jackson now has 3 strikeouts on the day.
Yeah, the home plate umpire called it a ball, checked over to the first base umpire, rung him up.
So Caden Wilson will follow up our Curry, looking to prevent the 3rd consecutive strikeout for Nolan Jackson. He struck out Phelan to end the 2nd inning. It's a swing and miss to even up the count. It's 1s across the board. Caden Wilson here with his Jamestown teammate, Jack Sarkuri. Jamestown Community College, to be specific, but 2-1 to Wilson. Batting .063, so looking to get that up above 100 before he even thinks about the Mendoza line. But 2-2 to Wilson. Seen most of his time in the middle infield, but playing third tonight.
Yeah, he's just extending his experience, getting him to play a little bit of different position. Gets a
Grounder picked up by Gazaldo, looking to redeem himself. Sent to
Nice
first for out
play.
number 2. And Chris Gazaldo had the early error, but a nice play right there for the 6-3 ground out.
Yeah, it looked like Wilson had a little bit of speed there, but Gazaldo gets a nice throw to first, and they secure the out there.
Devin Medor up next, looking to avoid another 1-2-3. The first inning was also a 1-2-3 for Nolan Jackson. Has given up just one hit all day.
Oof.
That'll go over the head of Medor. He ducks and avoids the hit by pitch on ball 1. A big duck for Medor. He's a pretty tall fellow.
Oof.
It's been a staple at the shortstop position. He's the number 6 shortstop in Ontario's 2024 Prep Baseball Report class, and now played some short at SUNY Niagara and some short here. The 1-1 is a grounder. Speaking of shortstop, that goes to Gazaldo, the Americans' own shortstop,
Nice.
for a second consecutive 6-3 ground out. That'll end the inning. Ironbacks go down 1-2-3 again here in the third. We'll be right back with the bottom of the inning.
No, I'm kind of thirsty.
Me too. We could really use something.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yankee Doodle Dan.
That's better.
Back for the bottom of the third inning, and we'll hand it to Avery.
Hey fans, you know American season tickets are just $99? Come be part of the fun this summer at Sal Magley Stadium. Stop by the concession stand and pick up your season tickets today to be part of this historic season at Niagara Falls.
Yeah, season tickets just $99 here for the Americans. And Tommy Mathay will kick things off in the bottom of the third. 1 ball and 1 strike on the count to him. Mathay flew out to left field his first time up. Graham Moore stole a base on his at-bat. It's an outside ball, 2, to put the count in Mathay's favor. Tommy Mathay. The hitters count, and he'll send it up the middle for the base hit. Bounces off second base and heads into the outfield. Tommy Mathay, the first base runner of this third inning for either side. Ethan Madison up next. Had the RBI single his first time up. Extra bases could drive in Tommy Mathay. Has some speed on him.
Yeah, I mean, especially with Madison, too. One of the few Americans that has a home run this year. Let's see if he can maybe pull off one again.
Yeah, Ethan Madison had a home run against the Tarp Skunks, and that's a high pop-up into the shallow outfield. It'll be caught by Alex Keene for out number 1. So some good pop right there, but it'll fall shallow, as Mathay is going to have to hold up at first. Gavin Boyle struck out swinging his first time up. Looking for redemption here. He's been a little strikeout heavy to start his season, but also a pair of doubles here at Sal Magley over the course of 3 games played here. And
looks like we have a
advancing to second is Tommy Mathey. Will be called a balk. So the balk advancing Mathey.
Yeah, that's not something you see every day, Andrew. I mean, I myself, I don't know the exact ruling on a balk, but apparently the ump saw something he didn't like, and now Mathey is down at second.
Yeah, Piers Wolf briefly stepped off the mound too late.
Yeah, now we got Richard Griffin talking to the umps to see what went wrong there.
Yeah, Richard Griffin, manager for the Ironbacks. Ump is holding him away, and now he's coming back to continue the conversation. Seems to be imitating Wolf's motions. Now Brock Granger stepping in to this meeting. Richard Griffin runs back to the dugout as Gavin Boyle will get ready to take his at bat after the early balk. So Tommy Mathey on second base after the leadoff single. And Gavin Boyle looking to drive him in.
Yeah, Mathey got a free pass there to second base, and now Americans got runners in scoring position. So let's see what happens here.
Gavin Boyle, 5 RBIs on the year, looking for number 6. If he goes deep for the first time, could also be number 7. Big lead for Tommy Mathey. He's playing a game of chicken. It's a foul tip by Boyle for strike 1. Mathey hurrying back to his base.
Yeah, Mathey had a real big jump there. He was about in line with the ump there.
And Gavin Boyle can really hit it to all fields. He had a ground rule double on the left side and then into right field for a classic double a couple games later. It's 1-1 to make it ones across the board to Gavin. Last year had 4 home runs for these Americans. Looking for his first of the season. In there on the low inside corner to make it 1-2.
Yeah, Gavin Boyle didn't seem like he liked that call. Seemed to ask the umpire there what was the reasoning behind it, but regardless, it's a 1-2 count.
Yeah, Boyle already has 1 strikeout today, looking to avoid a second. Mathey in scoring position, bigger and bigger lead. Wolf checks back. Now he takes off. Gavin Boyle, high fly ball into right center field, but it'll drop for out number 2. Mathey will head towards third anyways and slide in safely. So Gavin Boyle going to advance the runner on the flyout.
And now we got Dalton Harper up. Really solid hitter. Let's see if he can get a hit here, driving Mathey home, extend the lead to 4.
It'll be the center fielder, Mitch McKinney, who comes down with the catch. And yeah, Tommy Mathey, 1 base away from scoring. Dalton Harper could be the man to knock him in. Gonna have to be. 2 down, and Dalton Harper up for the second time today after the 5-3 ground out his first time around. First pitch will drop on the low inside part of the plate for ball 1. Dalton Harper with the count in his favor. Takes one upstairs. Dalton, another second-year American, another product of SUNY Niagara. It's back-to-back SUNY Niagara hitters in the order, but the Panola outfielder Tommy Mathey on third base. It's a line drive into right field, and it is going to drop in foul territory.
That was close.
Would have been at least a double, most likely.
Yeah,
if it had dropped fair.
That ball had some speed on it. It looked like if it just dropped fair, yeah, like you said, it would have been a double at least, and Mathey would have had an easy pass to home. But
had
unfortunately,
some speed, had some carry.
Yeah, just unfortunately dropped foul. But He's still alive here, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, still up in the count as well. It's 2-1 with the runner on third, Tommy Mathey, eager to come home. Would have easily scored if that had dropped fair, but another chance for Harper. Sends another one down that first baseline foul. That's more clearly to the foul side. Drops into the batting cage area.
Yeah, it wasn't like that one before. We had a chance, but yeah, that one off into the fences.
Lights are on in the early evening as it's been overcast pretty much the entire day here in Niagara Falls. The 2-1 is outside for ball 3. Dalton Harper has taken a lot of walks this season. This would be a good moment for one. With runners on the corners. So a full count after the foul ball, rather.
Ooh.
And that's going to be a high fly ball into
Drop,
shallow
drop,
left
drop.
field. And
Yes!
it's going to drop in front of the left fielder, Nolan Phelan. Harper headed into second. He will slide in safely. Mathey will score. It's 4-0. It's a double for Dalton Harper.
Yeah, looked like Phelan had a little trouble on that ball. Would have thought he had a chance on that, but unfortunately he drops in front of him, and Americans get another run across here.
That's Harper's 5th ribby of the year. Also his 2nd double. That first one was at George Taylor Field, nearly left the ballpark. That's a speeding line drive foul. Drops down near Deb's Beer Garden. That's pretty ironic. It's $2 beer night. The ball going right where the fans will be going between innings right here.
Yeah, it's almost like a sign. Say, hey, go get your $2 beers. I mean, why
Yeah,
not?
follow that ball. Go get your beers.
Yeah.
I mean, normally there's a lot of kids chasing after the ball, so
Wouldn't
good
want-
thing less kids
yeah.
in the stands tonight.
Wouldn't
but-
want the kids going to the beer garden.
Yeah, definitely not. Well, Emma Crocker working the beer garden probably wouldn't sell to any kids. I have faith in that.
Yeah, I mean, they got beers and waters over there, but yeah, no beers for the kids.
Yeah, offer them water. They have it over there. But certainly do at concessions alongside all your other favorite Coke beverages. That's a fly ball into center field, and McKinney and Phelan both chasing it down. Phelan will make the grab for out number 3. So setting off, making contact, but flies out for the 3rd out. Dalton Harper, the RBI double to knock in Mathey. It's 4-0, headed into the 4th inning. We'll be right back.
My fellow American fans, my name is Frankie Morris, your social media manager. You can join us all summer long with many promotional nights and tickets just as low as $10. You can call and get tickets at 716-215-6161 and take a crack at the action.
Welcome back for the 4th inning of action here on the Americans Baseball Network. And this 4th inning is brought to you by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 237, by Johnny Ryan, and by Coca-Cola. Get all your favorite Coke beverages down at concessions every single home game. Got Powerade, Coca-Cola, Sprite, you name it. Andrew Roberts back here with Avery Vogt as Mitch McKinney, Marcus Butts, and Andrew Bishop are due up in this top of the 4th to face the Americans.
Yeah, speaking of Johnny Ryan there, Andrew, the other day when Logan Stickler got robbed of that home run, unfortunately, you know, we felt he still deserved that Johnny Ryan, so we sent it down to him, and he got, of course, that shower of Johnny Ryan down in the clubhouse.
Yeah, the Johnny Ryan shower. on Sunday evening after the win over the Muck Dogs. I mean, it helps when you win the game.
Yeah, we felt that if they won, we would still bring in the Johnny Ryan, and as they did, they pull off the win, and that shower ensued in the clubhouse.
It's ball one from Jackson to McKinney, and now the pop foul to make it 1-1. Mitch McKinney, 0 for 1 on the day, lined out to Jack Satinoff his first time up. The center fielder, after serving as the extra hitter and a relief pitcher his first time out for these Ironbacks. It's the breaking ball outside for ball 2. Here's Jackson was looking to get that to climb back into the strike zone, but misses a bit. 2's on the count now. Pitch, check swing, and he'll be fouled off. Gets a piece of it right there. Mitch McKinney. Just his second game as an Ironback. Both have been against these Americans. That'll drop in the dirt for ball 3. But, I mean, that's just a testament to how much these two teams have faced off this season. Been a big rivalry here.
Yeah, I mean, when you play them each other 12 times, it's obviously something's going to happen. And
high fly ball in the shallow center field. Grant Moore comes in to make the grab for out number 1. So McKinney lining out and flying out so far today. And it's Marcus Butts next. Butts is 0 for 1 with a flyout.
Baby got back coming in the stadium. I love every time playing that, especially when Marcus Butts is up to bat.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And that's a foul ball for strike 1 by Butts. And these two teams, as to continue with our earlier conversation, they've played 4 total times over the last 7 days. And that's a line drive into right field. It's going to go right into the glove of Tommy Mathey for out number 2.
Yeah, Mathey didn't look like he had to make up much ground there. He kind of took a couple steps, and he was right at the ball.
So a lot of fly balls by these Ironbacks. Nolan Jackson forcing that softer contact all night long. Andrew Bishop up next. Looking to avoid the 1-2-3. Fouls off strike 1. Bishop reached on the error his first time around. Pitch from Jackson is lined into left center field. And coming in to make the grab is Gavin Boyle. The running catch ends the inning. It's 3 flyouts by 3 different fielders. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th after the break.
No, I'm kind of thirsty.
Me too. We could really use something.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yankee Doodle Dan.
That's better.
Back for the bottom of the 4th inning, and Avery, take it away.
Hey fans, this season you can connect with the Americans like never before with exclusive content on our social media platforms. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter.
Big shout out to Frankie Morris and Leah Fraun, our social media managers, for keeping those pages up and running. But in this bottom of the 4th, it'll be Brady Bowles, Graydon Miller, and Chris Gazaldo for the Americans. 2 of those 3 are from Panola. In the order alongside outfielder Tommy Mathey. from that junior college. But 1-0 to Brady Bowles right now. And another ball low. Bowles this season has had a lot of walks, a total of 11. It's 2-0. In the dirt for ball 3. Could be a 4-pitch walk right here. Ethan Wolf has struggled against these Americans today.
Yeah,
At this rate, potential for a Mercy Rule victory.
Yeah, speaking of Wolf having a little trouble, we got looks like someone going to the bullpen here for the Ironbacks. Maybe get a couple warm-up pitches in, and maybe we'll see someone come in an inning or two here for Wolf.
Yeah, definitely. And the Ironbacks, as I mentioned earlier, only brought 4 relievers here, but it's a ground ball. Second to first, butts to Bishop for out number 1 on Bowles. Those 4 relievers for the Ironbacks that are available today are Eli Thompson, Jaden Corpin, Jack Kemp, and Aiden Bray. So it'll likely be one of those 4 coming in for Wolf when his day is over. The Americans have been very consistent here. Have scored at least 1 run every single inning. Graydon Miller going to line that into right field for the base hit. It's Miller's 2nd hit of the day. He's torn up these Ironbacks time and time again.
Yeah, you're talking about that streak for the Americans, too, scoring at least 1 run every inning. That hit from Graydon Miller. Hope to keep it alive. Let's see if Chris Gonzalo can advance Miller here. Maybe get some more out of it, too.
Miller, his 3rd multi-hit game over the past 10 days. And that gets in there for strike 1 on Chris Gonzalo. And 2 early strikes on the low part of the zone from Ethan Wolf. He's refinding his ability to paint those edges. Ironbacks owner Mal remaining in the stands watching the game. And that's going to be a chopper. Gets past Wolf. Goes off his glove, and now it's 1st and 2nd. It is a hit for Chris Gonzalo, also his 2nd of the night. Makes for his 5th multi-hit game of the season. And Liam Schott with 2 on and 1 out. Here to round out the order, Grant Moore is on deck. Do not want to let him up right here. Swing and a miss for strike 1 on Schott. Ideal scenario here for Ethan Wolf would be a double play because that gets these runners off and makes Grant Moore wait till the next inning. And that's going to be briefly getting away from the catcher, Brock Granger. It's 1-1, but as you were saying.
Yeah, it's good if the Ironbacks get a double play here, but if you're an Americans fan here, you don't want to see that. I want to see a nice little hit here from Liam Schott. Maybe get these bases loaded up for Grant Moore.
Yeah. Or at least advance the runners. 1's across the board, and that's a dribbler foul to make it 1-2. Liam Schott. 2 strikes on the count, hoping to avoid the strikeout here. The goal at the very least is to get these runners into scoring position.
Yeah, I mean, we already have Graydon Miller up at 2nd, but yeah, pushing Chris Gonzalo to 2nd and Miller to 3rd would be a great chance here for the Americans to extend their lead even more.
Definitely. Graydon singling, and then Gonzalo following him up. Both runners take off. It's another foul ball, though. They'll have to head back on the 2-strike count. Miller and Gonzalo eager to get into scoring position together for Grant Moore. Mathey in the hole starting to warm up as well. If Liam Schott can get a knock here, those two could both come up in this inning. The pitch is behind Liam Schott for ball 2.
Yeah, nice grab right there by Brock Granger. That ball went behind Liam Schott, but made the catch there, so no free base for the runners.
I mean, I got to give Brock Granger his flowers. He's prevented a couple of potential wild pitches for Ethan Wolf here. Same with Dalton Harper for the Americans. Both catchers have had an excellent night. It's an upstairs ball 3. Count is full on Liam's shot. Big moment. Looking for his first hit of the season. This would be an excellent time to have it. Grant Moore waiting. Count is full. Stakes are high. The payoff pitch is above the head of Liam's shot, and it'll walk him.
And now we got bases loaded here for Grant Moore. Great chance to maybe get a single, driving a couple runs, see what happens.
Yeah, bases are juiced, and Grant Moore looking to extend that 16-game hit streak. He's got on today with a hit by pitch.
But yeah, it looks like we got a meeting here with Michael Nightingale here with Ethan Wolf.
Yeah, Michael Nightingale, the pitching coach for the Ironbacks, coming out to talk to Wolf. And doesn't appear we have action in the Ironbacks bullpen at the moment. There were some early warm-ups in there, but the Ironbacks, seems likely they'll put their faith in Wolf here to continue this inning. Americans already won their fans free McCafe frappes.
Yeah, Andrew, it seems like every game broadcast here, we're always getting free frappes, so it's a good thing to always see the Americans are always putting up runs, especially here at Sal Magley.
Because these Americans have really been swinging the bats, especially here at home. Even in their losses, put up 5 in an 11-5 loss to the Double Days, 6 in a 14-run showing for the Tarp Skunks. And the pickoff attempt at third, ball 1 to Grant Moore. Miller will be safe. So it's Miller, the lead runner at third base. Gazaldo at second and now shot on first after getting walked. Grant Moore looking to be the fourth base runner in a row for these Americans. 1-0 count right now. Pitch from Wolf will go at his ankles for ball 2. Grant Moore keeps going like this. He could get on with a walk, and there's nowhere to put him. Another low inside ball. Ethan Wolf, if he cannot re-find his command of the strike zone, this is going to be a 4-pitch walk. All 3 runners have a lead already in case this pitch goes wild. That'll get in there for strike 1 on the outside corner. So Wolf locking in at the right moment here. 3-1 count. And Moore going to foul it off. It's all filled up for the second at bat in a row.
There goes
now
the stampede.
Yeah, the stampede of kids chasing after the ball for the most kids here today. Brought by the color guard. Big group here tonight at Sal Magley. It's 3-2, and Grant Moore will line it into left field. Foul territory. No, it'll drop fair, but caught by Nolan Phelan for out number 2. Run coming in to score. It's a sac fly for Grant Moore. Americans lead 5-0.
Yeah, unfortunately from Grant Moore there, we don't see the nice single from there, but like you said there, Andrew, you got a sac fly, got another run across. Can't be mad about that.
Yeah, Graydon Miller is the runner to come in and score. It's RBI number 17 for Grant Moore this season. And Tommy Mathey up next. High fly ball, foul territory for strike 1. Mathey already 1 for 2 today, had the single in the 3rd inning. Back up here in the 4th. The Americans have sent up at least 5 batters every single inning today. And they've scored a run in each of these first 4. That's another up the middle round ball, but the tag at second for out number 3. A nice play by the Ironbacks to end the inning. We'll send it to the 5th after the break.
Fans, if you've been to a game, you know that I give away pizza to a lucky fan in the middle of the 3rd inning. But what you might not know is that Sammy's is located right across the street. They've also been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and originated the half tray of pizza. But if you're hungry at the game, you can stop by the concession stand and get a slice of Sammy's for yourself.
Back for the top of the 5th inning. Andrew Roberts here with Avery Vogt. This 5th inning is sponsored by Tropical Heating and Cooling. Call 716-870-0753 for expert service. And Carter Kipp is now in at 3rd base for the Ironbacks, but he'll lead off this inning, followed by Alex Keene and Brock Granger. So Kipp and Caden Wilson switching spots. 4 innings into the game. And it's ball 1 right here on Kipp. Nolan Jackson has had base runners on in just 1 out of 4 innings and no base runners yet here. The 5-3 ground out to start things off. A nice play by Bowles on the chopper.
Yeah, but I mean, Nolan Jackson has looked terrific out there today. I mean, we've gone through 4 1/3 so far. 1 hit allowed so far by Jackson. I think that's a terrific start to this game for him.
And it was kind of the same story for Jake Rocher on Saturday, but I'd argue Nolan Jackson has been more effective as a starter than he was as a reliever.
Yeah,
he seems to be more comfortable.
Even to give Jackson some more flowers, too, he took that pitch off the back earlier in the game, and he stayed in it, and he's, for my part, looked consistent. He's looked like he's going out there attacking these batters, and he's wheeling and dealing today there, Andrew.
Oh, yeah, he's not rattled by that hit off the back. Alex Keene was the man who did it. He's up to bat.
Maybe look to get some revenge here.
Crazy enough, that was the only hit for the Ironbacks all day.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just like one of those like things you see in baseball. Things are going to happen, and of course, the hit goes off the pitcher and it goes down as a hit. But besides that, Jackson's been playing a terrific game so far.
Yeah, Nolan Jackson, no hitter, but looking to keep that 1 hitter going. It's 1 and 2 on Alex Keene. Keene, one of the tougher customers in this Ironbacks order, came in batting .286.
Nice.
And that is in there for strike 3. Nolan Jackson, another strikeout. That is strikeout number 4 of the day. Keene, the 4th unique victim of Nolan Jackson's strikeouts, and Brock Granger will bat next, hoping to avoid the 1-2-3.
I feel like we said that a lot today, Andrew. These Ironbacks going down 1-2-3. I mean, when you only got 1 hit so far, it's kind of bound to happen that you go down like that. But let's see if the Ironbacks can change it up a little bit here.
The 1-0 count for Brock Granger. 0 for 1 with a pop out. The inside, ball 1 even things, or ball 2, excuse me. Jackson looking to get the count back in his favor. It's a fly ball into center field. It'll drop in front of Grant Moore, and that's the 2nd hit of the day for the Ironbacks off the bat of Brock Granger. Ironbacks have a base runner here in the 5th, and Nolan Phelan will follow up Granger. Struck out his first time up. Looking to avoid that fate here against Jackson the second time around. This time has just one runner on. He had runners on the corners last time around. Oof. It's inside for ball 1. The breaking ball not coming back into the strike zone how Jackson seemed to want it to. That'll be low and away to make it 2-0. Jackson has had 2 consecutive 2-0 counts. We're going to refine that command of the strike zone. Instead, it's a chopper right to Bowles. Sent to first, and it gets past Graydon Miller. And headed into third is Brock Granger. Alex Gaines struck out, but it's an error on Brady Bowles to make it runners on the corners. Jax R. Curry, the DH rather, will bat next. R. Curry, 0 for 1, struck out looking in the 3rd inning. Has 2 runners on.
Nice.
That gets in there on the low outside corner for strike 1. Jax R. Curry looking to avoid his second strikeout. The bases were empty his first time up. So a different situation for him. That'll be a ground ball headed Satinoff's way. He'll throw to first, and that will be completed for out number 3. So the error by Brady Bowles, but Satinoff completing the ground out to end the top of the 5th. We'll be right back with the bottom of the inning.
You know, I'm kind of thirsty.
Me too. We could really use something.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yankee Doodle Dan.
That's better.
Hey fans, you or someone you know have a birthday coming up? Why not spend it with the Americans? Packages include 10 tickets, 2 large Sammy's pizzas, 10 drinks, customized Wegmans cake, autographed Americans baseball, and special recognition at the game, starting at just $175. Sign up online at www.niagarafallsamericans.com.
And that birthday package sponsored by Wegmans and Sammy's Pizza. Wegmans Kids Run coming up in the bottom of the 5th inning. But yeah, bottom of the 5th inning here at the barbershop, and Ethan Madison, Gavin Boyle, and Dalton Harper 2 up to face the Ironbacks here in this inning. Ethan Wolf will keep going after 4 innings of work where he gave up at least a run in every single one. So he's faced a lot of adversity, but has continued to stick it out. And Ethan Madison will start things off here for the Americans. Caden Wilson warming up in the bullpen for the Ironbacks. He was in the starting lineup and is the extra hitter still, but going to try and pitch on top of that. Strike 1 on Madison from Wolf.
Ooh.
And that will hit Ethan Madison. He takes first base after getting hit on his side. He's on base for the second time today.
Stepping in for the Americans, left fielder number 16, Gavin Boyle.
And Gavin Boyle will be up next.
Gosh, each day you weren't here, the scoreboard would never work. I guess it just likes being better.
Didn't work the last time I was here either.
Gavin Boyle has struck out and flown out so far today.
Just had treated like a lady.
That'll drop in on the low edge for strike one. Boyle looking to refine that power he had his first couple games here at the barbershop. Also spent a couple years here prior to this season. Count is even at ones. Gavin Boyle has quickly reintegrated himself into the locker room after missing a couple of weeks in between the JUCO World Series and this summer ball season. That's a high chopper. It's picked up by Bishop at first, out at second, but not in time to retire Boyle. The fielder's choice will keep it a runner on first base. Gavin Boyle taking Ethan Madison's spot there. Bishop will make the throw to the shortstop, Devin Medor, for the fielder's choice. And it'll be Dalton Harper up next, the catcher for the Americans. Harper has been in the lineup 3 straight days, DH'd yesterday. Takes ball 1. Dalton doubled his last time up, and that's a fly ball into right field. This time, Alex Keene tracking it down and making the grab. So Keene making the catch. Dalton Harper now 1 for 3 on the day.
Stepping in, second baseman number 14, Jack Satinoff.
Jack Satinoff up next, as the Americans have a runner on in Gavin Boyle. Boyle took Madison's spot there after the fielder's choice. It's a low ball 1 to the batter, Satinoff. Satinoff has been hit by pitch and flown out on the day. So he's 0 for 1 with a ball in the count. Pitch from Wolf is going to be lined down the first base line, and a jumping catch by Andrew Bishop for out number 3. Jack Satinoff could have had something there, but Andrew Bishop robs him. The Ironbacks keep this a 5-run deficit, and we'll keep it here for the Wegmans Kids run. Yankee Doodle Dan looking to keep his undefeated record going.
Yeah, I mean, he's had some close races so far, Andrew, but so far no one's beaten him.
Apollo also in the run. He's usually dead last. Coming back from the bird flu. Could he have his MJ flu game?
Oh, uh-oh. We got a
Apollo going to have the head start this time.
Just one
Yankee
runner.
Doodle Dan.
Oh.
Going to have to wait because there's still kids hesitating if they want to go.
Hey fans, let's put your hands together for her. She beat Apollo.
And Yankee Doodle Dan appears to have not participated in this edition of the Kids Run.
Yeah, it seems like a little confusion out there
So
with
he
the fans.
keeps his undefeated record even though he didn't win today.
Yeah, we'll call it a no contest there, Andrew.
Yeah. I mean, not as many competitors as usual. It's kind of a cooler night here at the ballpark.
Yeah, I might not see as many kids.
And
but
also, $2 beer night bringing in more adults than kids.
yeah, I was going to say, Andrew, you read my mind. I was going to say, you expect to see more adults here, especially with $2 beer nights. Maybe a little less kids. Maybe don't want to be drinking with your kids. But
$2 beer night and Kids Run go all that well together. But, I mean, yeah, especially the parents who bring in these kids got to drive home.
yeah, got to get your kids home safe. Maybe don't want to drink with them. But you know what would have been a good idea is get some drunk adults to run across the field. That would have been a funny show.
Oh, yeah, and the 6th inning is brought to you by Niagara County Legislator Chris Robins. Laborers Local 91, and Wegmans, proud sponsor of the Kids Run here at Sal Magley. And kicking things off for the Ironbacks will be Caden Wilson. He was starting to warm up in the bullpen, but still serving as a hitter in this order. Takes ball 1. That'll get in there on the low edge for the strike.
Yeah, kind of disrupting Caden Wilson's warm up there for his bullpen, but maybe we'll see him go back down there after this inning.
And Nolan Jackson in his 6th inning of work. This has been in what many expected to be more of a bullpen day. It's been a full-fledged start for Nolan Jackson.
I mean, you're right, Andrew. We were expecting to see some guys come out of the pen today, but, I mean, there's no need. When Nolan Jackson's been out here wheeling and dealing today, he's got 2 hits over about 5 innings of work, and, I mean, there's no point, you know. Save the arms, get the guys the rest that are needed to get, and,
yeah.
I mean, when Jackson's out there pitching, like we said, it saves some arms.
Especially with some insurance. The 5-0 lead for the Americans. That 5th inning, the first time the Americans came away without a run in an inning tonight. And that's very impressive to see. But the full count here on Wilson. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Nolan Jackson, his 5th strikeout of this game.
Yeah, that ball seemed to be going a little bit outside the zone. Probably would have been called for a strike. But regardless, we see Caden Wilson swing. Maybe a little early trot to the bullpen there for him.
It's back to the top of the order for the 3rd time today for these Ironbacks. Devin Medor 0 for 2 with a strikeout looking and a 6-3 ground out. First pitch from Jackson. He swings and misses on the breaking ball for strike 1. Looks like he swung too low with that.
Ooh.
And that's going to be a ground ball to Gazaldo again. The second consecutive 6-3 ground out for Devin Medor. It's 2 down in this 6th inning.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Chris Gazaldo's been getting a lot of balls his way this game. But makes up for the error back earlier in this game and gets nice easy out at first.
Yeah, since that error, he's had 3 successful ground outs sent to Graydon Miller at first. Mitch McKinney up next, takes the ball outside to start off his at-bat. 0 for 2 with a line out and a fly out. And that'll be grounded to Gazaldo again. Sent to first. Chris Gazaldo has sought redemption all game long, and he has been very successful in that effort. 6-3 ground out for the 2nd consecutive at bat. Another 1-2-3 inning. The 4th time that's happened to these Ironbacks today. Nolan Jackson has been on fire.
Fans, if you've been to a game, you know that I give away pizza to a lucky fan in the middle of the 3rd inning. But what you might not know is that Sammy's is located right across the street. They've also been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and originated the half tray of pizza. But if you're hungry at the game, you can stop by the concession stand and get a slice of Sammy's for yourself.
Back for the bottom of the 6th inning, and I mean, there was a surprise kids run in the middle of the 6th inning after a low turnout the first time around, and Yankee Doodle Dan keeping his undefeated record. But Avery, take it away.
Hey fans, remember, an Americans game is a great way to entertain a group for the evening, and we're able to offer fundraisers tailored to your group needs. Nonprofits, churches, youth sports, and more. For all group information, please visit our website at www.niagarafallsamericans.com.
Tonight, some scouts in the stand. They represented the color guard tonight.
Yeah, we should specify, Andrew, it's Cub Scouts, not scouts for baseball teams there, Andrew.
Yeah. Cub Scouts, to clarify, definitely. But
would be nice to see some scouts out there, though, Andrew.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And Brady Bowles will kick things off here. against the new pitcher, Caden Wilson. Wilson has been in the lineup as a batter, now coming in to pitch. And that'll be outside on Bowles for ball 1. Brady, as I mentioned earlier, has 11 walks on the year. He's 1 for 2 tonight with a single. That'll get in there on the outside edge of the zone to even up the count.
Yeah. That seemed like a ball that was outside there, Andrew, but Brock Andrew with a nice frame job there.
I mean, Brady Bowles, a very patient hitter, should be able to make up for that call. It's an upstairs ball, too, and nonetheless, the count in his favor.
Yeah, I mean, from our perspective, Andrew, it should be a 3-0 count, but, you know, it's 2-1 and that's baseball, so we'll see what happens here with Brady Bowles.
The pitch from Wilson is popped foul to even things up. And some kids and adults, it sounds like, chasing after this foul ball.
Yeah, I mean,
foul balls can be exchanged for snacks. I wonder if tonight they could be exchanged for beers.
it seems that way, Andrew, but I doubt it'd be that way.
Check, swing, he did not go. So Bowles catching a break right there, and the count is now full. Sort of even things out after that close strike call.
Yep.
Brady Bowles looking to walk for the 12th time this season, and there's ball 4. Bowles on base for the 2nd time today. That leads off the inning. And gets a runner on for Graydon Miller. 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. An RBI tonight as well. That was his 12th of the season. Love to see Graydon really settling in here in his 2nd year as an American. And that'll be a shallow fly ball into right center field, and the catch will be made by Alex Keene for out number 1. First time Miller's been sent down tonight, but Brady Bowles hangs on at first base. Chris Gazaldo up next.
Yeah,
his Panola teammate.
Yeah, as you said, Andrew, Graydon Miller flies out to shallow right field there, but you can't be mad about it. He's 2 for 3 on the day. It's always a good day in my books.
Chris Gazaldo, I mean, his walk-up song, one of the most catchy beats on this entire team, I'd argue.
Yeah, I mean, we were doing a little survey earlier trying to see if we can remember people's walk-up songs, and this is the one I remembered was Chris Gazaldo's. He's got such a catchy song.
Sure, it's ball 1 outside, and that'll be a chopper. Foul, 1's across the board. Chris Gazaldo, as always, representing Jackie Robinson with his number 42. Brady Bowles has a lead at first. These two have been sharing the left side of the infield tonight. Each have an error, but been pretty solid otherwise. It's 1-2 after the foul ball down the third base line for Gazaldo. Gazaldo also 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. The first one knocked in a run, so he has 8 RBIs now on the season. The pitch from Wilson on the 1-2 is going to be chopped foul. Gazaldo stays alive with the 1-2 count. What do you think the approach is here for Gazaldo, Avery?
I mean, he's fouled off a couple of pitches here, but I don't know. They might try to throw him off here. Maybe wait for a ball here, but if he gets one down the middle, maybe swing away. Maybe get a homer here.
Here's the pitch. That'll be a fly ball into center field. Backing up is Mitch McKinney. He'll make the grab for out number 2. Bowles headed back towards third base, and Gazaldo headed back towards the dugout. Liam Schott up next. Grant Moore is on deck, so Schott once again hoping to get on base and get Moore up to bat with a couple of runners on. Schott walked his last time up, but struck out looking in his first at bat. It's 1-0 to Schott. Be interesting to see if Schott makes some contact here. It's been all strikeouts and walks thus far. The 1-0 pitch will be a swing and miss to even things up. This is just the second game for Liam Shaw, as I mentioned earlier, so looking to prove himself in this outfield rotation for the Americans. Tonight, the extra hitter, but
Yeah, it's kind of tough, in my opinion. Kind of be thrown in the middle of the season, you know. These other guys have been playing tons of games this year, you know, getting that timing, getting the batting in during these games. But yeah, I mean, when you're Liam Shaw, you're kind of getting thrown in for your second game. You're expected to do well, but we'll see what he does here today.
also been tough as a right-hander on a righty-heavy team. Most of the lefties are in that outfield, so coaches Wolf and Cordero been trying to get some lefties in the order. Panaro, Gismondi, Mathay, all left-handed hitters, so they've seen time off the bench over Liam Shaw. The 3-1 pitch will go inside for ball 4. Liam Shaw does his job and walks for the second time tonight to make it runners on first and second. The game Shaw's having tonight, almost reminiscent of what Derek Gismondi usually is able to put up, and he's seen plenty of playing time.
Yeah, I mean, Shaw's been getting on base here tonight, but like I've said a bunch of times, Andrew, they don't ask how, they ask how many, and Shaw's been getting on base, so you can't be mad about that.
Absolutely. Graham Moore up next with 2 runners on. That hit streak up for grabs right here, and strike 1 goes low and inside on the corner. Runner in scoring position is Brady Bowles, who walked to lead off the inning. It's strike 2 on the outside part of the zone. Graham Moore, an early 0-2 count, but we both know he's always going to be a tough at bat. 1 strike away from this inning being over. Caden Wilson looking to end it right here. The pitch will instead go far inside to put a ball on Grant Moore's count.
Yeah, that one looked like it got away from Wilson there, but it almost hit Grant Moore, but it doesn't, and the bat keeps going here.
Grant Moore looking to knock in Bowles and potentially even Shot. The pitch will go upstairs to even things up. So Grant Moore is not dead yet. Had an early 0-2 count. Now a meeting on the mound between Wilson and Granger to figure out how to approach the rest of this at bat against Moore.
Yeah, you're right, Andrew. Grant Moore is a dangerous batter, and like we've seen here, he was down 0-2 very quickly to Wilson, but he's battled his way back. He's evened up the count, and let's see how he does the rest of this at bat.
Yeah, and over the course of that hit streak, he's had a pair of doubles, a pair of triples. If he can get some extra bases here, that would be huge for the Americans. Likely knock in 1 run or more. Home plate umpire stepping back into position, and Graham Moore stepping back into the batter's box with 2s across the board. Wilson stepping towards the edge of the mound, then getting set for the 2-2 pitch. He delivers, and it is a pop-up foul territory chased down by the new Niagara Ironback Carter Kipp for out number 3, and Grant Moore hit streak in jeopardy as he pops out for out number 3. We'll be right back with the 7th inning.
My fellow American fans, my name is Frankie Morris, your social media manager. You can join us all summer long with many promotional nights and tickets just as low as $10. You can call and get tickets at 716-215-6161 and take a crack at the action.
back for the top of the 7th inning here on the Americans Baseball Network. Joe Chaya out of the bullpen for the Americans after 6 scoreless frames pitched by Nolan Jackson in this 7th inning. It's brought to you by Elks Lodge of Niagara Falls, Bikers Against Child Abuse, the Stalka Agency, and Red Robin Gourmet Burgers and Brews. Andrew Roberts back here with Avery Vogt. And the Ironbacks will have Marcus Butts, Andrew Bishop, and Carter Kipp in this inning to face Joe Chaya. Marcus Butts kicking things off, the second baseman tonight, after serving as a catcher on numerous occasions, takes strike 1 from Joe Chaya. Joe Chaya looks to have his command of the zone to start out the night, and it's a fly ball into right field near the foul line. Tommy Mathey coming in to make the grab for out number 1. Joe Chaya has an out early here.
Yeah, I've liked his approach so far from Joe Chaya. He went out there, got the first pitch in for a strike, and got some contact on the second pitch. First easy out.
Yeah, some of that soft contact is what's going to help Chaya out, because he's the type of guy, as he continues to pitch, can sometimes lose a bit of his control of the zone. So to get some quick outs, it's going to be important for him, as it's ball 1 outside on Andrew Bishop. Chaya thrives on painting those edges of the strike zone. Sometimes goes a little wide and ends up with the 2-ball counts like this. But when he's on, he is really effective. That's a low ball 3. So Chaya not looking as sharp this second at bat. ERA on the year is .972, but he has 11 strikeouts. So some great swing and miss stuff. Just looking to add that efficiency into the mix as well. Joe Chaya, the first reliever in today for the Americans. The 3-0 pitch will go upstairs. It's a 4-pitch walk. Not what you want to see on the second batter faced of the day, but Andrew Bishop will take first base for the second time today. Also reached on an error earlier.
Yeah, the one way to stay positive in this is maybe Joe Chaya can get a little pitch here and get a double play, get us out of the inning.
Yeah, that would be a huge accomplishment for the Americans. And Carter Kipp is off to an 0 for 2 start for the night. Takes strike 1 from Chaya. So Chaya breaking up that 4 consecutive ball streak with a strike right there, and it's a ground ball to Gazaldo. He tags second. The throw to first is in time.
I don't like to say I'm a wizard, Andrew, but I might have called that double play there.
Yeah, the 6-3 double play, and Avery, you called it. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. Just 3 batters faced for Joe Chaya in his first inning of work.
Fans, if you've been to a game, you know that I give away pizza to a lucky fan in the middle of the 3rd inning. But what you might not know is that Sammy's is located right across the street. They've also been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and originated the half tray of pizza. But if you're hungry at the game, you can stop by the concession stand and get a slice of Sammy's for yourself.
Hey fans, Niagara Falls Americans would love to partner with your business. The Americans have lots of options to make your presence known in your community. Please visit our website at www.niagarafallsamericans.com to get involved and go Americans.
The Americans. Some sponsors already here on the broadcast, and we would love to add some more. So go to the Americans website. It can be heard right on the broadcast and seen in many other places here at Sal Magley. Tommy Mathey up first. The ground ball sent to Butts. The throw to Bishop in time for out number 1. And an interesting stat here for these Americans. They do lead 5-0. So the runs have come in, but they've left at least one runner on base and a total of 9 runners on base over the course of the game. And if they had scored all those runners, which, I mean, it's impossible to score them all, but if they had scored them all, this game would be over by mercy rule.
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to knock in runners you have on base, but fortunately for the Americans, they left a few on that they'd probably like to knock in, but, you know, they're still winning, so can't be mad about that.
And that is thanks to some excellent pitching. Nolan Jackson with 6 strong innings, and now Ethan Madison just hit by pitch for the 2nd time tonight and 2nd time in a row.
Yeah, like you said, Andrew, we saw Nolan Jackson go out there wheeling and dealing today. Gets yanked after about 6 innings, but he cannot be mad about that.
Yeah.
He gave only up 2 hits after his 6 innings.
With a changed approach as well, forcing some soft contact. So love to see that. But yes, Nolan Jackson, an excellent start. Wheeling and dealing, as you said, Avery. Gavin Boyle up next with 1 on and 1 out. Takes the ball low. Caden Wilson in for his 2nd inning of work for these Ironbacks. Ethan Wolf finished the day with 8 hits and 5 runs allowed. That's a high fly ball into deep right field. It'll be a little bit shy of home run power. Alex Keene will make the grab for out number 2. And staying at first base is Ethan Madison. Dalton Harper will be up next. Harper on the night is 1 for 3 with an RBI double. The first pitch from Wilson is low and away for ball 1 on Harper. Harper, another frequent flyer on free bases this season, has walked 6 times and been hit 6 times. I mean, getting hit by that many pitches is kind of wild, but not that infrequent here in the PGCBL. That's a shallow fly ball into right field, and it'll be caught by Keene for out number 3. So the Americans leave another on base, but they still lead 5-0. We'll send it to the 8th inning after the break.
My fellow American fans, my name is Frankie Morris, your social media manager. You can join us all summer long with many promotional nights and tickets just as low as $10. You can call and get tickets at 716-215-6161 and take a crack at the action.
Back for the top of the 8th inning here on the Americans Baseball Network, and this 8th inning is brought to you by Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino, the official casino of the Americans. More winning, more comfort, more entertainment. Go to SenecaNiagaraCasino.com for more. And I just want to give some flowers as Joe Chayak stays on the mound to the starting pitcher of this game, Nolan Jackson. Making his first start of the year, he went 6 scoreless innings, gave up just 2 hits, struck out 5, and the only free bags that he gave up were on errors.
Yeah, I mean,
no walks, no hit by pitch.
Yeah, like you said, Andrew, he had a terrific start today. And like we mentioned before, he's only usually come out of the pen, but for a guy to go out there and produce a start like Nolan Jackson, I think that is a very, very well done
Yeah.
game there by Nolan Jackson.
I mean, Seattle University came calling for a reason. He'll be in Division I this coming spring.
Yeah, it seems like they got a terrific man out there in Nolan Jackson.
Alex Keene going to kick things off for the Ironbacks here in the 8th inning. That'll be a high chopper. Picked up by Bowles at third. The throw in time for out number 1. So Brady Bowles with some nice throws in between his error back in the 5th inning. It's 1 down for the Ironbacks.
And like you mentioned before, Andrew, a nice start to this inning with some weak contact here produced by Joe Chaya. Right out to the third baseman, Brady Bowles. Nice easy out at first. Let's see if this inning could keep going like that for the Americans.
Yeah, Brock Granger, the next customer for Joe Chaya, has retired 4 batters so far. 2 of them on a double play. It's an outside ball 1. A twin killing. Notoriously known as the pitcher's best friend. That'll be called for us. A strike to even things up at 1s. Pitch from Chaya is outside again. It's the count back in Granger's favor. It's been back and forth in this 8th with 1 down. Pitch is grounded down the first base line, foul. Chaya 1 strike away from sending Granger packing. He's 1 for 2 with a pop out and a single. Toronto Mets alum. And there'll be a pinch hitter for the Ironbacks after this.
Looks like Connor Gayton's here, Andrew.
Count is full, and Connor Gayton's the hot hitter for these Ironbacks. Expected a pinch hit for Nolan Phelan.
Yeah, he was the unfortunate hitter for the Ironbacks to hit the home run here back on Tuesday.
It's ball 4 on Brock Granger, and Connor Gaytons will have a runner on his first time up. Oh! They're going to overturn it and call strike 3. He was starting towards first, and he'll be sent back to the dugout.
Yeah, Andrew, even I was fooled. I put in ball 4 here. And never mind, we don't have Connor Gaytons.
Connor Gayton's likely going to come up a little later, but right now it's Carter Shin.
Yep.
Another hot hitter for these Ironbacks. Carter Shin batting .326 on the season with a .794 OPS. And a hit in 6 different games over the last week and a half, including a pinch hit RBI double against these Americans on Saturday. It's 0-1 to him. This will be the opposite-handed matchup for Joe Chaya. It's an inside ball 1 to even up the count with 2 down.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Andrew, it's a lefty versus righty matchup here. Usually it goes in the righty batter's favor, but let's see how Joe Chaya deals with it.
Chaya inside to make it 2-1. Carter Shin, product of the University of Mary. That is going to be a high fly ball into right center field. Tommy Mathay will make the grab for out number 3. Ironbacks go down 1-2-3, even though Brock Granger thought he had a walk on the second at bat of the inning. We'll send it to the bottom of the 8th after the break.
No, I'm kind of thirsty.
Me too. We could really use something.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yankee Doodle Dan.
That's better.
back for the bottom of the 8th inning. Avery, take it away.
Hey fans, we'd like to thank everyone for coming out to the park tonight. And remember that Americans Game is a great way to bring your group together. Whether it's a school, church, business, or youth sports organization, the Americans are also able to offer great options and even picnics for your organization or business. Reserve your group online at www.niagarafallsamericans.com.
So yeah, just another reminder of all the amazing options for group outings here at the barbershop. And it'll be Jack Satinoff to start things off for the Americans in this bottom of the 8th. He'll be followed up by Brady Bowles and Graydon Miller. Second time tonight, Satinoff has led off an inning. He got hit back in the bottom of the 2nd when he led things off. Ooh. And that comes close to hitting him again, but it's ball 2. Caden Wilson still pitching, headed into his 3rd inning of work. Joe Chaya has been going for 2 innings scoreless for these Americans in relief of Nolan Jackson. He's retired 6 batters and allowed just 1 base runner. It's an upstairs ball 3 from Wilson to the batter Satinoff. Caden Wilson also been very effective, has not given up a hit out of the pen. And that'll walk Jack Satinoff on 4 pitches. Satinoff, no hits tonight, but has found ways to get on base. That's really all you got to do with some big hitters coming up to follow him. Brady Bowles, 1 for 2, single and a walk. Him, Miller, and Gazaldo, the next 3 in the order, have all been on base multiple times tonight. So good for Satinoff to get things going here.
Yeah, I mean, when you, like you said, Andrew, when you got these big bats coming up, as long as you got someone on base, maybe drive some runs in and keep the score going for the Americans.
The 3rd walk given up by Wilson. And that's going to be a fly ball into left center field. And making the grab is the new left fielder, Grayson Briggs, for out number 1. Satinoff holds up on first base for Graydon Miller. Grayson Briggs has played a lot of left field for these Ironbacks. He came in for Carter Shin after the brief pinch hitting opportunity for Carter Shin. And now Graydon Miller with 1 down. Will take a ball upstairs. Miller is 2 for 3 on the night, pair of singles and an RBI. The pitch will drop low for ball 2. The pickoff attempt at first. Satinoff sliding back in safely. So the Americans have put runners on in every single inning. They scored a run in each of the first 4 innings. Been very consistent at the plate tonight. It's what you love to see from a team that has been a little bit hot and cold over the course of the season.
Yeah, and as you mentioned before, the first 4 innings, the Americans put up at least 1 run in each of those innings, but so far it hasn't put anything up, but it hasn't mattered. The Americans are still up 5-0 here.
Great pitching between Nolan Jackson and Joe Chaya over the course of these first 8 frames against the Ironbacks. It's 3-1 on the count for Miller. Consecutive walks, or rather 2 walks in the inning if it's ball 4 here. Oof. But the count is full. Graydon Miller with the count filled up. Looking to advance. Satinoff drives it into left center field for the base hit. Jack Satinoff heads into second. Graydon Miller has his 3rd single of the night. Runners on first and second for Chris Gazaldo, who also has a multi-hit game going. It was a quieter night for Graydon Miller in Geneva last night, and he's certainly turned it around here at Sal Magley.
Yeah, I mean, some of those days you're going to just have a little bit of an off day, but it's not how you get knocked down. It's how you get picked back up, and Graydon Miller has obviously shown that today with his 3 singles, as you mentioned, Andrew.
That's going to be a low and away ball 1. 9th hit of the day for the Americans. Comes off the bat of Graydon Miller. Miller and Gazaldo together have been responsible for over half of the Americans' hits tonight. So it's this bottom of the order that's done a lot of damage. Big cut and miss to make it ones across the board. But a wild pitch will get Jack Satinoff to third base. Ones on the count, runners on the corners. Satinoff taking full advantage of that opportunity to take third. And that'll be popped up into foul territory down the first base line. It drops before anybody can get there. Bishop and Keene were chasing it down. And out of reach for both of them.
Yeah, but to me, it was almost a smart play that they couldn't reach the ball there, because had Bishop caught that ball, we would have seen a run come home for the Americans to extend the lead to 6.
Yeah, you have to throw from the depths of foul territory to the catcher, Brock Granger, at home. Ends up being a foul territory sac fly. And taking off is Graydon Miller, but it's fouled off. He'll have to go back.
Yeah, Graydon Miller just started going, but even before the pitcher got the pitch across, and no one even paid attention, and he was halfway there by the time the pitch got across the plate. He would have had an easy bag, but unfortunately, Gazaldo fouls that ball off.
I mean, it would have been an easy caught stealing if they had thrown to second, but
it seems like no one was giving Graydon Miller much attention.
And that'll be up the middle, and it is cut off by the shortstop, Medor. 2 quick outs. It's a double play for the Ironbacks. And Devin Medor has been excellent tonight at short. We'll send it to the 9th inning after the break.
Fans, if you've been to a game, you know that I give away pizza to a lucky fan in the middle of the 3rd inning. But what you might not know is that Sammy's is located right across the street. They've also been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and originated the half tray of pizza. But if you're hungry at the game, you can stop by the concession stand and get a slice of Sammy's for yourself.
Back for the 9th inning here on the Americans Baseball Network. Joe Chaya with a chance for the long save as he comes back out for his 3rd inning of work. This 9th inning here on the Americans Baseball Network is brought to you by Casella, Salino Plumbing, Blaze Brockway Contracting, and Wright Beverages. Big night for Wright Beverages over at Deb's Beer Garden, providing all the alcoholic beverages here at Sal Magley.
Yeah, like you said, Andrew, it's $2 beer night. I mean, it makes just perfect sense to get a little steal, get a bang for your buck, and go get some $2 beers down here at Deb's Beer Garden.
And it's probably getting in their last rounds as the Americans will look to finish it right here in the top of the 9th. The Ironbacks will be led off in this inning by Jack Sarkuri. He takes strike 1. He'll be followed up by Caden Wilson and Devin Medor. Arcuri struck out looking the only time he led off an inning tonight.
Who said that? One time it wasn't me. Why would you say that?
That's a foul ball.
Exactly.
So 0-2 to Jack Sarkuri.
Fouls that one
Fouled
off.
off again.
Little
Joe Chaya has 2 strikes on the count. Has had good command of the strike zone tonight, so that's helped him out.
Yeah, it's always good to see from Joe Chaya. We've seen him had a couple games, you know, maybe a little iffy on the control, but today he seems like he's refined it and been getting some easy weak contact and getting some easy outs here for the Americans.
Yeah, it's been great to see from Chaya. The SUNY Niagara product. Now a far inside ball to make it 1-2. The Americans got through the order 4 times tonight. The Ironbacks just on their 3rd time through. It's 2-2. They'll get to that 4th time with Devin Medor, but just barely crack into that. And it's upstairs to fill up the count. Connor Gayton's warming up to hit. Seems he will pinch hit for Caden Wilson. Gayton's the hottest hitter on this Ironbacks squad. Hit a home run here on Tuesday night. And that'll get in there for strike 3 on the inside corner. Jack Sarkuri goes down looking for the 2nd time tonight.
Yeah,
Joe Chaya has his 2nd strikeout.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like he was taking a couple steps to first. Thought he had a freak bag, but calls him out. Strike 3.
There we go. That's a nice break for Joe Chaya.
And yeah, as you mentioned before, Andrew, we got a pinch hit here with Connor Gaytons. I mean, being down 5-0 here for the Ironbacks, wouldn't hurt to throw in a hot hitter here. Maybe get a run across the board.
Leads the team in batting average at 345, 1009 OPS. Home run and 3 RBIs to tack on to that. Dominant over at Great Lakes during his time in prep baseball, and then dominant over at Southeastern Community College as well. 2 balls on the count. Now 3 from Chaya. He's starting to lose that control of the strike zone here, hoping to get it back against Gaytons. Don't want to let this guy on. And that'll be a 4-pitch walk. Upstairs, ball 4. Connor Gaytons on in his first time up tonight. Devin Medor is up next. Been an excellent force on defense at shortstop. Looking to contribute on offense. He's struck out once and grounded out to Chris Gasaldo twice.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Andrew, he's been a hot commodity out here today in the game, playing shortstop.
That's a fly ball, and Mathey and Moore both coming for it. Mathey will make the grab from right field for out number 2. Devin Medor hit a couple right to the American shortstop as the Ironback shortstop tonight. But right there, flying it into right center field. As Mitch McKinney comes up, he's also 0 for 3. None of the Ironbacks' top 3 hitters have been on base tonight. It's an upstairs ball 1 to McKinney. Marcus Butts on deck.
Yeah.
Another foul ball to make it 1-1. Stampede for that foul ball.
Looks like
somebody
fan
appeared to have tripped over.
Yeah.
And taking off for second base is Connor Gaytons.
Yeah, looks like the kid's going to be all right, but he was wearing an American's
called strike 2. But yeah, American's
batting
gear.
helmet, so he'll be all right.
Yeah, helps to have a helmet. Always wear a helmet, kids. 2s across the board, and
Thank you, Uncle Andrew.
it's a home and home coming up for the Americans against the Tarp Skunks. But a line drive in to right center field. Graham Moore making the grab to finish the game. The Americans end this game and win 5-0.
Yeah, we had a little controversy up here in the press box before the game ended, Andrew. We had one of our own box office managers roll and say, is this our first shutout of the year? And the game wasn't over yet. And one of the one things you never say about a shutout is mention the shutout before it happened. But guess what? It still happens, and a nice win for the Americans.
Yeah, the Americans just playing that well. But, I mean, they've won their last 6 games with a schedule heavy on the bottom 2 teams in the standings. Now a big test this weekend with a home and home against the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. First pitch tomorrow from Dietrich Park at 6:30, and then back here at Sal Magley on Saturday for another 6:30 first pitch on Military Appreciation Night here at the ballpark. And Avery, thank you for coming on. Happy to have you back after a hiatus from color commentary here on the broadcast, outside of Yankee Doodle Dan's appearance.
Yeah, I mean, it's been, like I said before, it's been a couple days off. You know, I've been itching to coming back, but today was a great broadcast with you, Andrew. I enjoyed it today.
And Avery will be back for most of the rest of our home games this season. We'll also have another guest coming on the road from our Ithaca College radio station, making a guest appearance here in Niagara Falls. But we'd like to thank everyone tuning in to the broadcast tonight. Final score from the Barbershop: Americans 5, Ironbacks 0. We will see you tomorrow night for Americans Tarp Skunks. Thank you so much.